episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of everything to do with travel in style. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Belobradic.
And I'm Amelia Belobradic. And today, how to wash a hoodie while traveling, or anything really.
Yeah, let's say you're on vacation. I'm going to say to you right now, Amelia, don't respond to anything that's in the post, but you have this beautiful white hoodie that you love, graphic hoodie. What would you do in a hotel or on vacation somewhere and you spilled coffee on the arm?
Where did you get this prompt? Did you steal this from my personal experience?
What would you be your first inclination? And the reason we're talking about hoodies is, socks or something in a sink or even a t-shirt, pretty easy. Hoodies are big and bulky.
Yeah, it's a lot more of a process if you don't have a built-in washing machine in the room to clean a hoodie, especially depends on where the spill is.
Let's say it's on the arm of your hoodie. What are you going to do?
Yeah, okay. Without looking.
Yeah. Well, or should we just go right in? The way we're going to do this
my bad
is
advice?
We have 4 levels that, as I'm thinking about it, well, they're sort of sequential, but it's not to say that if the first thing didn't work, you can't jump to 2 or 3. So let's talk through. So if this ever happens to you, or a sweater or anything bulky, track pants, something that's just big, that is a little bit more cumbersome to deal with, what's the best way to approach it? And we'll start with method 1.
Okay. So first of all, method 1 is lightly washing, more so like in a hotel sink. This is for small stains, spot cleaning. If you spilled an entire coffee all over your hoodie, maybe that's not a minor spill.
Yeah, we're going to move on to those.
That might require a little bit more.
But that is a good one. Method 1 is just, a splatter, let's say.
Yeah, but let's say
pasta sauce or chocolate.
Let's say you're me 3 days ago. You're sipping your coffee. You spilled a couple little droplets on your white hoodie. What do? First off,
I think you can use the hotel sink for this one for your hoodie because it's small and it's a spot, right?
Yeah. And in my expertise from being a competitive dancer and learning how to eat in dance costumes, first of all, what you want to do is you want to blot. You want to take napkin, towel, anything you can, lift off as much as you can. You don't want to rub because all that's going to do is spread it and push it more into the fabric, into the fibers of what you're having, especially if it's white. When you get color into those fibers, it's just disaster. You don't want to do that. Then you want to take cold water, hold the stain under it, running continuously so it doesn't let it set in the fibers. You want to let it just go through continuously, go. And then you can add some soap, shampoo, body wash, travel detergent, whatever you have with you.
Whatever they have in the room.
Because they're not going to have, the best whiteout laundry materials you've ever seen in your life. Then you want to add just a little bit of that, let it rub, and then dry it overnight as well so it gets enough space to air out. If you can put it back on and let it dry on your body. That's what I do.
Yeah, you can also roll it or just compress it in a towel so it sort of takes the most of the wetness out.
Yeah.
And this is a spot stain, so it shouldn't take too long. And, getting it out is important because sometimes you sort of get it out and, you can't really see it, but it's there and you will always see it.
Yeah, I hate those.
Even if the average person doesn't see it. So that's what you're going to do. These are all in our blog post at 1923mainstreet.com. You don't have to memorize them. Now, the next one, let's say you've got something a little bigger and that may require a little more attention.
Yeah, let's say instead of smudgy chocolate fingers, you now had a pasta explosion or just general grime from traveling. Like sometimes things are greasy, cars, trains,
rub
stuff
on
like
something.
That. It does happen.
On the airplane now, even if it's a light gray hoodie or something, and now the sleeve has that black mystery stuff on it.
Not the most fun, but there are steps you can take to avoid it.
Well, this one, you might want to fully fill the sink, or if your hotel room has a bathtub and not just a shower, bathtubs are hoodie friendly when they're like the sink for hoodies.
You make it your own little washing station.
Do not put it in the toilet and flush the toilet as a drill.
Please tell me nobody's done that.
I have seen silly things like that, but that is not a spin cycle. So use a full sink or a tub. Lukewarm water's fine. Cold for dairy or chocolate, warm for sauces.
Well, yeah, it kind of depends how to counteract.
If you have travel-sized detergent packets, use those. They even sell those. If there's a laundry room, you could go get them or even ask at the front desk or whatever the hotel. Hotel soaps by nature are always mild.
Surely they have something. Shampoo, body wash, soap, like anything. Even if you need to rub the soap bar on it, right? Like that can work as well.
Yeah, and this is why. In this case, you do want to really soak it and swirl it, move the hoodie around. That's why I was talking about don't swirl it with running water. That water's too cold anyway, probably. You want to really focus on the stained area. I would also say if it is a really... if a lot is coming out, drain the water, start again, sort of like a wash cycle.
Yeah, like when you're cleaning vegetables.
Rinse it well. Yeah, you don't want any soapy residue left on there either, so make sure it's rinsed well. This one is going to be very wet. So you really want to, there's a lot of water in a hoodie. We did an episode about hanging and folding and all that stuff. This is where that will come into play. So squeeze it out, wring it out, roll it in a towel and really compress it. Maybe do that twice to get as much water out.
The surface water out as much as you can. There is still going to be water that's baked deeply into the fibers that you can't quite get out ever. So,
and then to hang it, use the towel bar, not a hanger. Or a chair on your balcony or something. Use a towel bar.
Or even if they have the hangers that are kind of the pants hangers with the bar underneath, you can drape it over that instead as well. Because if you put it around the neck, unless you want it to stretch out, because that's kind of the style right now, it is going to extend the fibers specifically when it's wet, especially if it's cotton or things like that.
One thing I would not use is sometimes in the shower area, there'll be this little wire that you can pull across and mount on the other side. Don't use that for a wet hoodie because
you're going to get the line.
You're going to get the line because there's a lot of weight and it may not come out very easily.
So evidently.
Especially when you're on vacation. We'll start ironing and things. You could, but... So that is step number 2. If you don't have laundry or you don't have money or you don't want to bother going to laundry or anything, that is for the heavier stain. Now, method 3... we've done this. We've had them in our villa as well. If you stay in villa accommodations sometimes, you will have a washer dryer. But method 3 is to use the hotel laundry room.
Yeah, so hotel laundry rooms are honestly a great service to have if it's a bigger stain or something you can't deal with by yourself.
And most hotels have them, by the way. People don't necessarily think about it. But in this case, remember, they do.
Yeah, like kind of a laundromat in the basement. I would say a lot of major ones have it. You can ask the front desk if you don't know where it's located or you can't find it online. It's a great resource to have when you have these scenarios, or if you just don't want to deal with it and take the time to be swirling it out in the hotel bathroom, put it in the laundry room. I would say check the care tags. Most hoodies are fine on cold or warm cycles, but avoid like super duper hot water.
Especially on nice graphic hoodies.
Yeah, because also that can cause them to shrink. Make sure you're using detergent. Many hotels, they'll sell like single-use pods, or you can just bring your own, but just make sure that it's getting a proper wash cycle, and then obviously dry carefully. If you're tumble drying on low, or that still might shrink it, so I would still say air dry as best you can. Again, unless you want to shrink it, unless it's way too oversized like some of the hoodies that I have, you can always just bring it back to your room to hang to dry.
Yeah, like we talked about in the last one. The other thing I like about tumble drying is if the dryer, and they don't always in hotels, but sometimes they'll have a no heat. It's basically just tumbling in the dryer. Do that once or twice if it doesn't cost you a lot before you hang it in your room. That'll take out a little bit more.
The machine is definitely the best for like a full wash with a lot less effort than some of these other options.
And then method 4 for the luxury traveler or the business person who might be able to write it off is to use the laundry service and let someone else take all your troubles away.
Yes. That's a very nice one.
It's definitely the easiest way.
It's definitely the easiest, especially if it's a stain that you don't know how to get out. Or it's very complex, or your hoodie is very white or nice and expensive. Just call housekeeping. Send it off in the provided bag. Usually it's same day or next day return, depending on the hotel, but just avoid dealing with it. Let them take it. Make sure you have a clear understanding of when you can get it back and everything like that.
That's a key part.
Like, I obviously wouldn't do this probably the day or the day before you're checking out. This would be best for like earlier in a stay, but it is a great resource to have on hand.
And sometimes there's, if there's anything in particular about your hoodie you don't want to, whatever, they often have space to write things down, or better still, talk to whoever. If you're handing it, sometimes you just leave it in the room, they pick it up. But if you're concerned about anything, if it's not a hoodie, if it's something else like a sweater that is delicate or whatever, and you want to talk to someone, I would recommend doing that when you're giving this thing away out of your control. So let's say you're in a restaurant or something, and we're going to give you also some really quick stain removal hacks that you can do when you can't wash right away. I mean, usually something happens when you're actually out in a restaurant or in a theme park or walking along a seashore eating ice cream, right? That's when these things happen. They're not conveniently happening in your room for you. No way.
Well,
so here are 3 things that you can do and try to at least buy you some time, let's say.
Yeah. First of all, sparkling water, club soda, anything like that is very helpful, especially at restaurants, because that's usually when they're going to happen. If you just splash a little bit on it, again, pat dry, it's going to be wet, but it is going to help the stain reduction long term. Also, if you happen to have on you baby wipes, makeup wipes, things like that, they're beautiful. They're little gems. They can help you remove surface stains, coffee, chocolate, anything like that. Even if you don't have a baby or wear makeup, you may just want to have them with you just in case.
I think this is a good thing to put in your bag. They take up 0 space. And, you know, remember when they used to sell, maybe they still do, those little Tide whiteout pens? I mean, this is basically the same idea for you. So pack this as part of your emergency kit. They'll fit anywhere and you won't even know.
Yeah. Also, cornstarch is a great option to have.
Or talcum powder, baby powder, if you have, any kind of powder, even Gold Bond powder, any of those powders.
They're great for the grease.
Yeah, if you have a greasy.
It's nice. Depends on what the stain is, I'm not an expert, but.
Yeah, well, if it's pasta sauce or something that's got oil in it or some mystery stain from an airport, definitely try that. So which method is best? None are really best, I would say. People ask,
it depends on the stain, depends on how much time and money you want to dedicate to dealing with the problem.
Yeah. I mean, the fastest fix, we can do it that way, is the spot clean in the hotel sink, but it might not get it all. You might have that forever shadow of a coffee. That becomes another part of the memory of your sweatshirt.
Sure, that's one way to look at it. I mean, if the hotel laundry service is going to cost more than the hoodie itself, right? Like, maybe we don't need to do it. It just sort of depends.
Obviously, the best full wash is the hotel laundry room that you DIY. And the most convenient, but also most expensive, is the hotel laundry service. So weigh one against the other. But, in the worst case scenario, or for the worst case scenario, think ahead and pack these little wipes, and even those, bounce wipes. Those are good too. All these things can be just shoved in a little corner of your whatever bag, knapsack, backpack, suitcase, whatever you carry. They usually have random little pockets that you never use because they're too small. This is what should go in those pockets.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, everyone. We hope
I love to come prepared.
Yeah, we hope this helped you to be prepared for the next time it happens. If you have any hacks of your own, share them in the comments this week on social media at 1923 Main Street as we post. And as always, visit us in the shop at 1923mainstreet.com. There's always something new in our travel apparel for you to find. And we will see you again next week with another episode. Roam freely, everyone, and wear boldly.
Bye-bye.